Started. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We're going to get started with the Lake Ripley Management District budget hearing. It's August 16th, 9 o'clock. And we'll get rolling.
We're just going to go through what was published, the revised 2026 proposed budget that was published in the Ripples. I'll start with the weed harvesting. Underneath that category are several line items, which is included fuel, repairs, parts, supplies, storage, operators' wages, repair wages, and payroll taxes. I mean, it went up, some went down, so it's very minimal, the difference, as you can see. Then we go to preserve restoration management, which is pretty, is just one line item. That went up $5,500, and Leanna left now. But one of the things that she requested was a walk-behind brush mower for the preserve at a cost of $4,000, and I was going to have her explain why. She said because then our part-time employees would be able to clean up things better, more efficiently. The cost would, like come back to us in the long run over time.
Yeah, versus having it hired done or paying higher wages to do it.
It would mostly be for dealing with invasive species.
Yes, yeah. Okay, thanks for that comment, because I was going to let her comment on that because all I wrote down was the brush mower. I didn't remember all the explanation. Staff payroll fringes taxes. What's all in there is staff wages, health insurance, pension, and payroll taxes. The pension percentage went up per state. We raised the health insurance a little bit because that's based on state standards also. There's a limited amount that we can pay monthly. So I don't know if there's anything there. The insurance is our insurance for workman's comp and for liability. Legal and accounting, I think that's pretty much, it's the legal fees and the outside accountants. At the time we made the budget, the legal this may be a little low, but that's partly, as you see down below, we moved some restricted funds to legal fees because we were over for this year to try to stay within budget. Dues and conferences is minimal. Office and community outreach, there's a lot of things, a lot of line items in that. There's postage, rentals, vehicle, telephone, legal notices, office, and information and education. We raised the vehicle expenses up because we found that we were over budget because of now having an extra vehicle that we have to maintain. And in office, we budgeted another $1,250 because Leanna now wanted to start using QuickBooks, and so that's what that program cost. The commissioner stipends, we moved a little bit just because there may be, whoever takes my place may be wanting to get paid and I haven't been taking pay. The rent stays the same, and then we go to capital reserve, which is up $26,500.
Yep, and that line item is an anticipation for a property that we're currently pursuing. And if we're successful in that pursuit, those payments are adjusted in that line item. So we had to prepare for that. We're in negotiations currently with our legal counsel, and if we're successful, that will be how we make the payments for the property.
Okay. And then we have miscellaneous and general lake management. The general lake management is up. Part of it was because of the bandied killifish project. That was $3,000. And did you want to talk about that, Leanna?
Sure. The banded killifish project is something that we're looking at doing for reintroduction of nearshore non-game fish species. There'll be a survey later this year coming out, and there'll be more information on that. Always feel free to reach out to me if you're wanting more information on any of these projects.
That's an exciting one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we didn't budget anything in special programs because It's currently not a non-needed line item. Based on legal counsel, some of the things that were being used for that item, we found out we couldn't use it for things maybe we thought we could. So are there any questions about anything that I presented or we presented?
Yeah, any questions on the budget hearing?
Can you say any more about the property you're in negotiations for?
I cannot because we're still in negotiations with our legal counsel. The property is considered a very valuable piece of property for the Lake District. That I can't say.
Somebody here.
What can you discuss about it?
I cannot discuss any more about the property that's currently under negotiations.
Can you talk about what purpose you want to use it for?
Well, the purpose doesn't change of any of the missions of the Lake District. So the Lake District's purpose is to protect and serve the lake the best we can. And that mission doesn't change because we're in pursuit of additional properties that would help us protect it.
Well, I just have a couple of questions. I live in Ripley Waters. And I guess part of the concern is that could be opened up like the walking trails that are just around the corner here. Could people be coming down and parking in our backyards to go with the walking trails? What else could you use the property for?
Well, if we're successful in acquiring the property, we'll use it to preserve and restore whatever areas that the board at the time feels necessary doing. Again, the number one interest of the lake and the Lake District is to make sure our lake is as healthy as it can be. So anything that comes up that is not part of our mission, we wouldn't be interested in pursuing. So I mean, I can't get into individual scenarios and details because we have a mission, we have 10-year plans that we create with the properties that we purchase, and those are all posted online when they're developed. But you can look at our history and see what we've done in the past, and that should give you a real good idea what the Lake District's all about.
I guess one of my concerns is when we moved to the property and built, that property was leased to the association. So, in effect, we've already paid for that. So the lease was broken because there was one person in the association that had a dispute with the owner. So, I guess we might have a conflict with somebody else purchasing the property.
Well, I can certainly refer you to our legal counsel, and any of those types of questions he'll be glad to deal with. Again, we're in negotiations, and I can't get into the individual details like that at this time. All I know is there's properties around the lake that the Lake District has deemed valuable, and we are pursuant to those properties. I hope that's helpful.
In pursuant of some of those other properties that we were after is why our legal fees, why we transferred that money, because that's what some of that money was for. So we're not always successful in trying to purchase property that we think would be valuable for the Lake District and for the health of the lake. We do what we can.
I mean, our interest would be to keep what we had originally purchased, which was access to the property, and being able to manage the property to a certain degree.
Thank you for your comments. We'll obviously take that in consideration, and we work with homeowners all the time. I mean, that's part of our mission. So thank you for your concerns. Are there any other questions for the audit or for the budget report? Okay, seeing none, we will conclude the budget hearing, and we'll move on. Also, that will be in our further agenda item, and we'll discuss this just a little bit more as we move through the annual meeting agenda. Okay, I will open the annual meeting. So it's now 9:09, and we will start the annual meeting. So call to order. All members are present. All board members are present. Approval of the 2024 annual meeting minutes. Everybody should have a copy of the minutes, and they were also published. Please take a moment to review the minutes, and then I'll entertain a motion to approve when ready.
I'll make a motion that we approve the August 17, 2024 annual minutes.
Okay, so the motion to approve the minutes from the last year's meeting, is there a second?
Second.
Was that Mike? Mike seconded. Okay, any other discussion on the minutes? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes, thank you. Okay, we will go into nominations of board candidates. We have 2 open positions. You're going to receive a ballot here shortly, as soon as we get through the candidates, but I'll let the candidates have a few moments to speak if they wish, and if there's any write-in candidates, those nominees can actually speak as well. So is anybody wishing to speak? I know Doug is on the ballot, and we have 1 other open position that we will take write-ins for, so we'll start that process now. I'll open it up to anybody who wants to speak on behalf of the candidates. Carrie, would you like to speak?
I would like to nominate Kim Nett
Okay,
for the write-in candidate position.
okay. We will get that.
Yep, I'll write it. Could you spell her name out for me?
Yeah, Kim, K-I-M, last name Nett, N-E-T-T.
Easy enough.
Okay. We'll write that on the board for everybody can see.
And if, with the board's permission, I have a statement from Kim that I would like to read on her behalf. She can't be here because of a family commitment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you mind coming up to read that then, please? Official. This thing only has so much range, unfortunately. Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, as I said, Kim can't be here today because of a family commitment, but she did want me to read a brief statement. So I have lived in Lake Ripley District for almost 30 years, and during this time I've grown to appreciate the beauty of the lake and its surrounding area. The tranquility of this environment has become a cherished part of my life, and I am passionate about ensuring the watershed, Lake Ripley, and the surrounding areas remain preserved, safe, and enjoyable for everyone. Preserving this precious ecosystem is essential so future generations can experience the joy of this area as I have. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Doug, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a commissioner for 2 terms, so 6 years. I was elected when Deb was elected. During the 6 years, I am extremely proud to have been part of getting the critical habitat passed, which was a 20-plus year process, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
And I also believe that this is the first critical habitat in the state of Wisconsin in that same time period.
Since
So
2008.
it's really a big deal. I'm really passionate about preserving our lake and the watershed. For the past 5.5 years or so, I have donated all of the labor, printing, and materials for the Ripple. I'm the guy that redesigned the ripples. It's a significant savings to the district. I won't throw the numbers out, but it isn't $100. It's a lot of money a year, and you know, I want to be able to continue to do that to save the constituents, you, money, and while also being able to get that information out to all of you so you can understand what we're doing, what our mission is. The mission of the district is, it's clear, it's preserving our watershed, and that's it. It's really important, and I hope that I can get your vote. I'd like to continue for another term for 3 years. So thank you all for coming. I'm glad to see so many people here today.
Thank you, Doug. And Doug is on the ballot, so you'll see his name on the ballot. At this time, I'll ask for any other write-ins. Is there any other write-in candidates that are interested in running for the board? Okay, I'll ask one more time. Is there any other write-in candidates that would like to run for the board? Okay, seeing none, I will close the nominations, and we will hand out ballots. So we'll take a few minutes and hand out ballots. You guys can cast your votes, and we will tally them at the end. Anybody else, did you want to say anything else?
Say something about Kim.
Okay, go ahead. Laura has something to say about one of the candidates. Go ahead, Laura.
Well, I guess for both, I'm Laura Payne. I am the town board chair, and I've been working with Doug for the past year here and know what his role has been over the last 6 years, and I endorse him wholeheartedly. He has been a great asset to this board in all the ways that he mentioned, and I am also good friends with Kim Nett. I've known her for many years, and she too has been very passionate about the lake and the district, is very thoughtful in her decision-making and very intelligent, and I think that she would also be a great asset to our board. So I hope you will vote for both of them with confidence, knowing that they will do a great job for all of us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Okay, while they're handing out ballots, I will start my report. I'd like to give a report out about our weed harvesting program and what the totals are for the year. So the harvesting season is going well. All 3 of our harvesters returned for the 2026 year. A big thanks to Richard, Jim, and Leo. The harvesting equipment was launched on May 27th and began harvesting on June 6th. So far this season, our weed harvesters harvested 38.25 loads of plants, roughly 2.75 loads more than last year at this time. So far this year, we've received 25.35 inches of rain compared to last year's 27.3 inches of rain by this time in mid-August. The past 2 summers have been somewhat similar in heat, rain, and therefore our plant growth. The crew has been going out 3 days a week since the middle of June to ensure the navigational lanes are well maintained and the prop shop is picked up to the best of our abilities. In late July, we changed the schedule to 4 days a week to ensure the maintenance of the navigational lanes. And that's also by the input of the people around the lakes, so we can actually get out there and make sure we get all the floating mats and everything off. Our crew's been on the lake 33 days this season and will continue harvesting until the end of September. They have put roughly 122.3 hours in on the lake so far. That's 7.5 hours more compared to last year. This season, the weeds tend to be getting to their maximum growth height at this time, so our crew is collecting more weeds, and also the navigational lanes and the prop shop that has accumulated are being picked up on the lake on a more regular, consistent basis right now. We have very few malfunctions this summer, good thing. No breakdowns. Last year was a little different, nor we had no major issues to report on. So we want to thank our harvesting crew for all the great work that they've done so far. I don't know if anybody's here today that's in the harvesting crew, but if they are.
There is a printout of the cutting lanes on the back table if anybody's interested. I pulled it from the website and printed it out so you can review exactly where we're allowed to cut. Just to clarify, we are cutting to the maximum that we are allowed by the DNR. We can't do more than that. I see comments online about there's a lot more weeds. We can only do what we're allowed to do. We can't violate our permit, and our permit is, I believe it's up for review. Is it this year?
Yes, we do renew our permit this year.
With the DNR, so it's entirely up to the DNR what we can do.
Right, and thanks for that input. We've explained that many times. We cut to our permit, and we have to follow that as close as we can. So great job to that group.
Will that ever change?
What's that?
Just what can be cut, like what the DNR sets?
Well, we have, of course, there's a whole process that goes involved with the permitting, with the whole permitting process, right? It takes how long to do all this. I mean,
Yeah, about
months.
a year, and a lot of the surveys go into it. Plant surveys, nearshore non-game fish surveys, game fish surveys. A lot of that data goes into where we can actually harvest these lanes to make sure that we're striking the right balance between protecting our lake's ecosystem and also maintaining navigational lanes for recreation.
So input from, obviously, the people, and what we view when we do our loop around the lake, help that input, that data helps input to the whole process. But, I mean, we really don't have a whole lot to say about it. I mean, the DNR actually tells us what we can and can't do. And it includes the depth, the cut, and everything.
We use the lake, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Hi, Mike, how are you, by the way?
Yeah, good, how are you? So we use the lake quite a bit, and it just seems like how we use the lake, we're having to start, we ski a lot. So how we're using the lake, we ski over, between the two of us, over 100 times a year. And where we're starting to ski, seems like we're moving farther and farther out because of the weed growth close to the shoreline.
We're seeing that, right? And a lot of things determine that, right? Weather, for one, amount of rain during the year, the amount of heat cycles we have. When we say the amount of rain, the major rain events. Like if we get a major rain event early in the year, or several that are several inches at a time, all that contributes to the runoff that goes into the lake, the phosphorus and all the nutrients, right?
Sure.
So as that happens throughout the years, the lake changes. It's never really the same each year.
Yeah, and our littoral zone, which is our lake bed, extends pretty far out into the lake. Plants can grow in clear lakes up to 25 feet deep, so you can expect our plants to grow, since we have a pretty clear lake, up to that depth. The deepest I've ever found them this year was 21 feet deep. So it depends on where you live, where that littoral zone extends to, and I just have to give a shout out to aquatic plants. We have to remember that they protect our lake from shoreline erosion, they give fish oxygen, they give food to all the macroinvertebrates and every other animal life in there. They sequester carbon dioxide and other nutrients and help suck it up so we're not having large algae blooms. They do a lot for our lake, so it's striking that balance like I was chatting about. But yeah, hopefully that helps a little.
Okay. I had a question about the inlet.
Could you state your name, please? Because I didn't catch
Yes,
your name.
Ron Buss.
Ron.
Ron? Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you, Ron.
Morning. Over the years, we've looked a couple times at dredging, and it's just never really gotten any traction. And part of the reason is certainly its cost. But one of the obstacles that was brought up by the Lake District early on, this goes back to like 2011, 2010, is the fact that the ponds and the inlet channel, which is about 80 feet wide, as it fills up with nutrients, becomes a filter for the lake. In Madison, they're dredging miles of inlet waterways. I'm not sure who's funding it, but the whole thought there is to prevent the nutrients from getting into the lake. So now that the ponds on the property are full and the channels are narrowing, when it rains, it's flushing water through there at a pretty good rate. It's not like it's 80 feet wide anymore. It's 15 or less. And that's sending a lot of nutrients into the lake. Is there any thought about dredging?
Well, first of all, I would invite you to get caught up on the work that we're doing upstream right now and the big project that we're starting. And that's a whole other conversation that we can have anytime. But we're investing quite a bit of time, effort, money on correcting that problem. So we know that's been silting in, but we have to get to the source. And that's what the big project that we're working on currently is all about.
Yeah, we've partnered with an engineering firm. I've wrote about it a couple times in the last ripples, and we'll have a public meeting this fall for you guys to come and ask some of these questions. But before we could even consider dredging that inlet, we need to fix the problem that's going on upstream. It would be a Band-Aid to dredge that because it would fill in if we didn't fix any upstream issues. So that's what the district has committed on working on over the next 5 years with this engineering firm that I mentioned.
A very reputable engineering firm, right? So they do this type of work in anticipation to correct the problem that you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, I know when we initially looked at it in 2012, there was 20,000 cubic yards of material in there.
Yeah.
And there's probably 25
Yeah, we actually, since that date that you mentioned, and even before, we've been collecting data that shows where the sediment is coming in and how much and how many tons per year. So we have all that data now, which allows us to go back and help correct the problem and then apply for grant funding to do more and more as we get further into this. It's a very exciting project.
Yeah, we're definitely working on it.
Okay, any other questions on the weed harvesting report? And I'll give the boat census report next. So every year we do a loop around the lake, and I was not able to attend this one, but Leanna and several others did, and thank you for guys doing that. So this year, the crew counted 186 piers on our lake, 313 boat lifts, 206 pontoon boats, 103 speedboats, 18 fishing boats, 46 water skis, 151 kayaks, and several paddle boards.
Those are mixed together, kayaks and paddle boards.
Paddle boards and canoes, both 26. Non-motored, 11 paddle boats, and then 10 sailboats. Interesting, we had 10 sailboats this year. And 25 swim rafts, 4 boathouses, and a total of 575 vessels on our lake.
A lot of boats.
That's a lot. In 2024, 2 additional piers were observed on Lake Ripley. It doesn't necessarily mean they were newly permitted piers. Some piers do not go in every year. For example, we had 4 piers on the shorelines instead of in the water, so sometimes people just didn't or failed to put them in for whatever reason. This year we saw a decrease in a lot of categories, including speedboats, fishing boats, jet skis, kayaks, paddleboards, canoes, and non-motored paddle boats and sailboats. There were 9 fewer speedboats, 8 fewer fishing boats, 7 less jet skis, and 63 less kayaks, 8 less canoes, 6 less paddleboards, and 1 less sailboat. There was also a decrease in swim rafts, with 25 observed this year compared to 30 last year. We saw 118 kayaks and 33 paddleboards, although in the past we've counted them together, right? So the only category we saw an increase in was the pontoon boats. This was an additional pontoon boat since 2024. In total, 575 vessels were recorded on the lake, which is 87 less vessels than 2024. So our lake continues to be very heavily piered, boated, and boat lift.
For a 423-acre lake having 500-something lakes, nobody can get an acre worth of lake if you guys are all out there at the same time, which I find so interesting. It's just a lot of boats.
So why do we do this survey? It's just interesting to see how we compare it to other lakes.
It helps our carrying capacity data as well.
Carrying capacity data, I gotta believe we're one of the heaviest for the size of our lake. So those are all factors that play into a lot of different things that we're all monitoring. So that data will be here. It's all graphed out. Thank you for putting this all together. It looks great.
It's online.
It'll be on our website, so anybody can go view it.
The last 5 years are online if you guys wanted to look at any of those reports.
So thank you for doing that.
Sure, no problem.
All right, that is the end of my report. Do you have any questions on my report? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go on to the treasurer's report. Sorry, we're still on.
No, that's no problem. The responsibilities of the treasurer are to safeguard district financial assets, collect district revenue and pay all capital and operating expenses, prepare monthly and quarterly financial activity statements for the board, and coordinate the preparation of the annual district financial statement by the district's outside accounting firm. Submit staff payroll records to the outside accounting firm to have check stubs prepared. The outside accounting firm also prepares all government payroll reports on a monthly and quarterly basis. Coordinate with the district's outside accounting firm all annual payroll and contractor reporting statements. Prepare monthly pension reports filed with the Wisconsin Retirement System and their annual member reconciliation. I'm going to read Wisconsin Statute 33.29 parentheses 2 regarding a lake district's annual audit of financial record. The board shall have control over the fiscal matters of the district subject to the powers and directives of the annual or special meeting. The board shall annually at the close of the fiscal year cause an audit to be made of the financial transactions of the district, which shall be submitted to the annual meeting. Per Article 6, Section 2 of our bylaws, the chair appoints electors to serve as on the auditing committee. The committee shall examine all financial records of the district and report its conclusions to the annual meeting. I want to introduce and thank the audit committee for their service to the district and thoroughness during their examination of the financial records for this meeting. The chairperson was Roxanne Schiller, and John Tilp and Pam Dollard both were members of the committee. The audit committee minutes and the report will now be read into the record.
Pam, would you come up and please read the report into the record? Thank you guys for working with this audit report. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we have both a summary report and the minutes from the audit committee meeting, so I'll read both. To the members of the board, Lake Ripley Management District, from Roxanne Schiller, audit committee chair, Pam Dollard, audit committee member, and John Tilp, audit committee member. The audit committee of the Lake Ripley Management District was convened at 9:05 a.m. on April 30th, 2025 at the Town of Oakland office in the Town of Oakland, Wisconsin. The purpose was to examine the financial records of the Lake Ripley Management District for the year ended December 31st, 2024. There was a discussion of the procedures to be followed and which documents that would be examined and tested for accuracy. At the direction of the chairperson, the examination of the documents were performed. Findings: based on the testing and examination of the financial records of the Lake Ripley Management District, the audit committee concludes that the financial records reflect properly, accurately, and fairly the financial condition for the year ended December 31st, 2024. It is recommended that the petty cash account be reconciled at regular intervals. Respectfully submitted, Roxanne Schiller, Audit Committee Chair. The minutes of the Audit Committee meeting on April 30th, 2025. The meeting was called to order by Liana Spencer, Lake Manager, Lake Ripley Management District, at 9 a.m. In attendance were Deb Coots, Treasurer, and Audit Committee members Pam Dollard, Roxanne Schiller, and John Tilp. Financial documents were provided by Liana Spencer and Deb Coots for Audit Committee review. A motion was made by John Tilp to elect Roxanne Schiller as chairperson. Pam Dollard seconded the motion. All in favor. There was no public comment. Meeting minutes from the Audit Committee meeting held on March 6, 2024 were reviewed and approved with corrections to the meeting timeline. Pam Dollard motion and John Tilp seconded. All in favor. New business. Financial records for the year 2024 were made available, and the Audit Committee members began their examination at 9:10 a.m. Old business: no old business was discussed. It was agreed that a report would be prepared and that the chair of the Audit Committee would submit the report to the Lake Ripley Management District Board of Supervisors for inclusion in the minutes at the annual meeting to be held on August 16th, 2025. A motion was made by John Tilp to adjourn the meeting, and Pam Dollard second. All in favor. The meeting adjourned at 11:10 a.m. April 30th, 2025. Respectfully submitted, Roxanne Schiller, Audit Committee Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I want to just commend Deb for the excellent condition of the records. They were very organized, thorough. It made our process really easy to do. So I just want to
Yay,
say
Debbie.
that as well. Thank you.
On that note, I'm going to intervene. This will be Debbie's last treasure report, I regret to inform everybody. Debbie's been a rock on this committee. She's been with us, what, 6 years?
Yep.
We are highly going to miss her. She's done a wonderful job putting these records together. She has kept us to the line, which I appreciate, and so does the board. and her
It's a tight ship.
persistency keeps the ship running straight as possible. Debbie, thank you for your 6 years of service.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed it. I mean, but I said I've taken it as far as I think I can, and it's time for somebody else to take over that can take it the next step. I don't want to learn QuickBooks. So I'm too old. There's just no reason
So
to.
that's it.
Yeah, part of it.
So it's Liana's.
No, come on, no way.
No,
She told me this a year before I decided about QuickBooks, guys. Leanna was not
no.
Okay.
a
It's
factor.
just,
We'll let you go.
I'm going to be 70, and I think it's time to enjoy my retirement.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you for all
You're still
your.
gonna come to every meeting though, right?
Well, I won't be here for the September one because I'll be in Boston.
Did you have anything else for your report?
Nope, that was it.
Any other questions for Debbie's report? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to approval of the budget and tax levy. We've reviewed the budget and had the meeting. There's been no other questions. I would entertain a motion to approve the proposed 2026 budget. That can be from anyone.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 budget.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve the proposed 2026 budget. Is there a second?
Second.
Laura? Laura seconded. Any other questions about the proposed budget? Okay, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstain? Motion passes. Thank you. Great job, everybody, on the budget. Okay, discussion and possible action on business that can legally be considered by the district. If there's any other questions or any other things that district members want to discuss at this time, now would be the time. This is like your public comment session. So if there's anything else that wants to be discussed, now would be the time to bring it up. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to tabulation of the votes of the board members. Oh, I suppose I should fill one out here.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'll look at that.
Just a bunch of IOUs.
Yeah, we left you a math problem. You're gonna have to use Bernoulli's equation to figure it out.
What about
Got a
ours?
couple up here yet, Leanna, we got a couple up here yet.
Right, I was just waiting for Pam.
Oh.
Don't worry, I was coming around for you guys. I was just making sure she was gonna sit.
Do you need any more help?
No, I think we can. I'll let Pam count them, and I'll write down the numbers. Good. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've had a few of those moments lately. I should show you. That.
Oh, nice. When did this come out?
This week, it was made public. Out of 21 candidates, I was one of 3
Nice.
people
Congratulations, Deb.
nominated.
That's awesome.
It's for the food pantry. I'm for, by the Fort Foundation, Community Foundation. They're honoring people, 3 people for making Fort special. And I was one of the 3 picked out of 21 people that were nominated.
Congratulations.
So I said, I've been choked up a few times recently. When I read the letter, I started crying because it's like, you don't expect.
It's good that they recognize people. So many times people are volunteers and nobody gives
I
them
know.
any kind of, nobody says thank you sometimes. They don't realize how many just organizations I belong to where all volunteer and people put hours and hours and hours into it and everybody just complains when things go wrong. They never say thank you.
I definitely understand that. Of where we're sitting right now.
Would that be possible?
So I said, you thought, I figured, when I passed away, they would say, oh, Debbie did this or Debbie did that. I didn't expect to be honored while I was still alive.
More to that.
Well, it's better that way.
Yeah,
You
I
can at
know,
least
but
Tell me
enjoy it.
you just don't. But see, I'll keep doing that stuff. The pantry stuff, I'm going to continue.
What do you say?
I have to pick and choose. I'm getting older.
I definitely understand that.
Can't do everything anymore.
Okay, I think we have a report coming.
I don't think this is going to be a surprise.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I would like to report the election results. We've had 44 casted ballots. Doug received 24 and Kim received 20. Will be our new elected board members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
We didn't quite have 44. Some people voted both.
Oh,
for
I
Doug,
see. Yeah, you're right.
So
You're
there
right.
was 20 for Kim, 24 for Doug.
Good correction.
Yeah, sorry,
Thank
there's
you.
not 44 people here. I'm like, wait a second.
There's not 44 people here. Wait a minute, what happened?
Math isn't math.
Good correction.
No worries. But either way, congrats, you guys.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Meg seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move into our meeting of Board of Directors and we will elect our officers. Pam, I would need you, did Pam still stay here?
Pam,
could you, I'll need you to call our meeting. Just come
oh
on up
yeah,
and
would
I'll,
you mind?
come on up and I'll have you call our meeting to order. Yeah, well,
You can just.
all you want to do is you want to call the, you want to call the meeting of the Board of Directors to order? So you can do that right now?
All right, I will call the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Lake Ripley Management District to order.
Yep, and then the first
Perfect.
order of business would be to,
First order of business is the election of board officers.
Correct. Thank you so much, Pam.
Thank you.
okay, I will start the process. We'll need a nomination for chairperson.
I nominate Jimmy DiGiulio.
I second.
Okay.
Nobody wants that job.
You're not getting out of this, buddy.
Okay, I will accept. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, I appreciate that. I will nominate, we have to elect our secretary. I will nominate Georgia to be our secretary.
Second.
There's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the most important one.
You want to ask her if she wants to.
She's doing it.
He's already writing it down.
Georgia, are you okay?
Yeah.
And we need a treasurer. I'll nominate Steve Bishke to be our new treasurer.
I would second that.
Doug has seconded. Steve, would you accept the nomination?
Sure.
All in favor? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, you have your new members of the board officers. Thank you, everybody.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second? Doug seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned for the day. Thank you, everyone.